Alright, my YouTube family, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And recently at the channel, my fellow agents, some of you have reached out asking me to highlight one of my favorite skill builds in the game because you're doing some farming, getting ready for year 6 season 2. Therefore, in today's video, I wanted to share with you what is still one of my favorite skill builds to use without a doubt. You can see I'm doing this on legendary difficulty in the summit, and you'll also see at the end of the video my hitting up a heroic control point, absolutely shredding through everything. As always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division 2, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now we are going to jump right into the build breakdown, starting with the specialization. You can see I'm using Technician. And for this build, there are 3 primary reasons why I've chosen that. First of all, we get that extra skill tier. Secondly, we get an extra 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. You also have access to overclock CPU, which is going to give you an extra 10% skill damage as well. And remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus, regardless of which one you're using. So when it comes to my weapons, I really kind of bounce between my primary and secondary depending on what's going on in the game. So we're going to go through both of them obviously really quick. So starting with the capacitor, this is easily one of the best exotics in the game. And that is because it has the talent capacitance where shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. And not only that, for each skill tier, you're going to gain an additional 7.5% weapon damage. So because I'm at skill tier 6, that's going to give me an extra 45% weapon damage right off the rip. Now, if you don't have this weapon, I recommend using the test subject. I think I have one in my inventory here. Hang on, let's check really quick. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So this weapon has the talent perfectly in sync, and with that talent, hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well. And your damage increases are going to be doubled on your weapon damage and skill damage when both buffs are active at the same time, which is pretty much going to be running non-stop, which makes this one of the best talents to use in the game. Now that is going to take us to the secondary. It is the Harmony Rifle. It also has the talent perfectly in sync. And for those of you out there that have none of the weapons I just mentioned, use your favorite weapons, I don't care what they are, and just put the regular talent in sync on there. I can promise you that will still get the job done. Now, as we make our way to the sidearm, there happens to be an important detail I'd like to talk about really quick, and this is really for new and returning players, but you can see I'm using the TDI card and it has a skill tier. However, to be very clear, that skill tier is only going to be active when you're actually using the weapon. It is not active when the weapon is holstered, so please make sure you take that into consideration when you're putting a build together. Now moving on to the gear itself. Starting with the mask, it's a one piece of Wyvern, which is going to give us an extra 10% skill damage. Now you can see I re-rolled my core attribute to armor because I didn't need an additional skill tier because I'm already sitting at 6 with the specialization. And on every piece of gear in this build, my goal is to stack skill damage as well as skill haste and or skill duration everywhere I can. Moving on to the body armor, it is the first of 3 pieces of Empress, and we are running all 3 so we get all of the brand set bonuses. You can see that is skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. And for the talent on the chest, I'm using one of my favorites in the game, which is kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Which now takes us to the holster, my friends, and needless to say, it is the waveform. This thing is an absolute beast. That is because of its talent alternating current. And with that, you're going to generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats forever. All right, that takes us to where are we going now? We have the holster. That means we have the knee pads and the gloves. Now, the knee pads are the one piece of Murakami, and I'm choosing to do that because we are going to get that extra 20% skill duration. And these happen to be the Emperor's Guard knee pads, which gives me an extra 1% armor regen, which I like because the build is a little bit squishy. That now takes us to the gloves and the backpack. They are the final 2 pieces of the Empress International gear set. Again, skill haste, skill damage. And on the backpack, you can see I am using the talent tech support, where skill kills are going to increase your skill damage by 25% for 25 seconds, which is an absolute lifetime in this game. So make sure when you're using this build, You want to let the skills do the work for you, my friends, because you want that talent running nonstop. Now, as far as the skills are concerned, you can see I'm using my two favorite in the game, the assault drone and the assault turret, but if you prefer something else, feel free to put anything else in its place. Most of you know that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So as always, if you have any builds you like to highlight, let me know in the comment section, my friends. That's about it. I'm going to leave you now with some gameplay footage with commentary, just my playing this morning. Please let me know of any other questions you may have. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. And as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Good morning, my fellow agents. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. You are seeing me farm at MLK Memorial Library. This is one of my favorite control points to hit up without a doubt, just because of the vantage points. You'll see how I go through everything in a moment. Yeah, that's all we got. Just taking out all these nerds, trying to get some loot. Do me a favor, let me know in the comment section, what are you looking forward to with Year 6 Season 2? I'm really excited in a lot of ways. You know, obviously we want that new DLC, you know, but that's going to be a minute. So between now and then, it's about somehow keeping the game interesting, intriguing, you know, wanting you to actually log in. For me, it's going to be the new layout for the seasons, the seasonal progression. I'm looking forward to that. Just a new way to play the game. I do like the automatic rifles jumping in. For those of you that may have missed my video yesterday, I did talk about that. And if you did miss that, I will leave a link to it in the video description. But, you know, for me, I'm just doing a lot of farming, and there's a lot of stuff for me to still do in this game. You know, we can all get burnt out sometimes. And without that incentive to log in, you know, you're not going to play. But for me, with all of the new changes that are coming to the game, I definitely have the desire to jump back in. So I'm looking forward to it, agents. We haven't had total confirmation of when it's going to begin, but I believe it's a week from today. But as always, I will let you know as soon as I have those details. That's all I got. That's about it. Having my coffee, playing some, you know, doing some gaming before I have to go to work. I wish I could just do this full time. I seriously wish I could just stream during the day and make videos as well. That's the dream, agents. One day, I promise you I will be doing that. One day, I promise I will be doing that. Streaming 3-4 days a week. Making, oh gosh, ideally 5-6 videos a week as well. We'll get there, fellow agents. I have my plan, and we are way ahead of schedule on that plan. I'll share it with you one day, promise. All right, I think that's going to do it for me. Got to turn off the mic, yell at the kid to get ready. I say kid, but he's a senior in high school. Still a kid, though, legally. Whatever. Anyway, I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you, as always, for your incredible support. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. We'll talk soon, everybody. All right. Thanks again.
detected. Supply room access unlocked.
Let's not mess this up.
Bring them now.